Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It's lovely to see you all again as always. So I spotted a news article, guys, from the BBC earlier, which claims 500, yes, 500 illegal migrants crossed the channel on Wednesday alone. I scoped it and I thought, right, I've got to do a video and have a chat about this because this is starting to take the piss. I'm not saying it hasn't taken the piss all along, but it's now starting to royally take the piss. It says in this said article, guys, from the BBC, I can't remember if I told you that or not, more than 500 people crossed the English Channel in small boats on Wednesday, according to the Home Office. 10 boats were intercepted. Whoa, back up a minute. Let's get this straight here. These boats are not intercepted in the common sense of the word. What happens is these dinghies leave French shores, are still in French water, Border Force are called, Border Force comes out, they go into French waters, pick up these people from these dinghies, leave French waters, enter our waters and ferry them to our shores. That is not an interception, that is a taxi service. Let's stop pissing around and playing with words and tell it as it is. Not an interception, end of story. We all know what happens out in those waters with Border Force. They are not intercepting, they are taxiing. 10 boats were intercepted, making the crossings from France, with 514 migrants on the boat, the highest daily total so far this year. It brings this year's channel crossing figures to 4,043 people, which is higher than the equivalent period last year, 368. One man was found with stab wounds after the arrival of one of the boats on Dover Western Dock on Wednesday, Kent Police said. He reported he'd been assaulted on a bench near Calais by two men who then stayed in France while he made the crossing, police said. The man was taken to hospital but has since been discharged. Yeah, I wonder who's paying for that little bit of treatment. We are. Muggins. A Kent Police spokesperson said information had been passed to the French authorities for further investigation. Now let's weed a little bit deeper into this stabbing incident. Let's say these two men did indeed stay in France instead of getting onto the dinghy, which I highly question. When are they going to be coming over to our country? Taxied over from their Border Force. I mean, these two men have stabbed someone. No checks, no passports, we don't know, do we? What's going to happen, right? They come over, they get put up in a nice Premier Inn, legs up, drinking a can of Carlsberg, watching a bit of telly, at our expense by the way, and then the next thing you know, they're in London somewhere, stabbing the hell out of some women and some children maybe, or stabbing the hell out of God knows how many civilians, or possibly doing even worse. This is insanity. We are playing with absolute fire here. Like I say, they've just stabbed someone. They are going to be making their way to this country any day soon, more than likely. Who are these men? Why did they stab that man? What's their intentions? How violent are they? Are they mentally stable? Are they terrorists? So many questions are not being answered or asked. It is mind-boggling, guys. I suppose the main reason for this video really is it's just to point out, but just because you don't see this sort of news day in, day out, week in, week out, don't ever think that the numbers are just going to suddenly stop coming, just dissipate instantly. It's not going to happen. These people are going to carry on excuse me, I'm really tickling my throat. These people are going to carry on coming, especially when Labour are in power this year or next year, whenever the next general election is. They're going to keep coming, their numbers are going to keep increasing. Don't think that there's some magical end to this. Don't even think for a second that this phantom Rwanda plan is even going to make a dent in this. Even if this Rwanda plan was to pass through Parliament, we're looking at what? Handfuls of migrants out of thousands that have already come. And when they do go over to Rwanda, we're going to get more coming back. So what's the conclusion to this really, guys? Well, I suppose miraculously, let's just say they did stop. What would we do then? I mean, how would we play this? Well, if I was in charge and I was in power, if I was in 10 Downing Street, I would cease all, and I mean all, both legal and illegal immigration to zero for at least what? 25 to 50 years, a whole generation maybe. just to let the dust settle, let the scales balance back out, and then open the gates back up in, say about 50 years, and let in about 10 to 15,000 people per year. Highly skilled workers, highly paid workers, they're going to contribute to our economy, not low skilled workers, not low paid workers, no more cheap labour. And that'll be sufficient, I think. And then, I don't know, bring in some sort of incentive for people to start having children, have bigger families, like they've done in Hungary. No income tax if you have 4 or more kids for life. It's obviously happening there because the population is rising in Hungary from Hungarian people, not immigrant born, proper Hungarian born people are having more babies through incentives. Why aren't we doing that here? It's been evident that we're not in the middle of exactly a baby boom at the minute. It's worth a thought, eh? Well, that's my video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching as always, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.